My name's JEPHA or Jeff, whatever you'd like to call me. I play bass in the Used. I'm hanging out here with my dogs right now. Excited about this Australian tour coming up. That's like a month long, a little bit over a month long. It's pretty long out there. Hopefully I'll get citizenship and won't have to come back.
That'd be great, wouldn't it? Beautiful. Thanks for joining us today, mate. I appreciate your
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, of course, man.
as you say, the U's kick off your 25-year anniversary tour of Australia in less than 1 month now, bro. So the first show's in Melbourne on August the 7th. So how you feeling?
I'm excited. I'm ready to go. We just ended a full US version and we went to Europe for a few dates. And then we took this month off and now I'm already itching to go back out and you know, move to Australia for a bit.
11 out of the 21 shows are already sold out, mate, which by my math is more than 50%. Like, that's got to be a good feeling before you even leave home, knowing that so many people are supporting you somewhere so far away.
Yeah, it's really exciting. It's the best part, I guess the best part for our singer. Our singer lives in Sydney. He's been out there for about 10 years now. And we he always has to come over for us to rehearse and practice and everything. And so he's always jet lagged now. So like the big joke's on us now is that we're all flying over and we're gonna be jet lagged and fucked the whole time, and he's gonna be spot on. So I'm really excited about the whole tour, man. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, well, and you've had to add a number of extra shows as well as upgrade several venues, mate. So, had you initially planned to spend that much time here, or was it more a case that the fans just wouldn't let you leave?
Yeah, we didn't expect this much. We didn't expect it to go this long and to have like multiple dates being added and a lot of places selling out, like you were saying. Like that's all not a shock, but it's all better than we imagined, and we're really excited to be coming back.
Yeah. Now you're going to be doing a minimum of 3 shows in each capital city, playing your first 3 albums, The Used, In Love and Death, and Lies for the Liars in their entirety. So, was there a reason you chose those 3 albums specifically, or was it more a case of that they were the first 3 you made, so they're an obvious choice?
Yeah, we did another one of these about 10 years ago that we did the first two records back to back, and so we thought for the 25 one, we might as well do the first three because it kind of fits in that theme. Like another 10 years from now, we'll do the first four, as a joke. Actually, I would love that. But yeah, we just wanted to follow it because it's rare for us to play most of these songs live, and especially so the third record, Lies for Liars, most of that record, I bet maybe a third has ever been played live besides us touring on it now.
Yeah,
So it's
wow.
it's it's kind of fun for like the diehard fans to be able to see all these songs they've wanted to hear and we've never played.
Yeah. I did a rough tally up too, bro, of the shows that aren't sold out and what albums you're playing at them. And it seems that out of the 3 albums, Lies for Lies is the least popular with 5 shows not sold out, followed by The Used on 3 shows and In Love and Death with 2. So that's actually quite interesting.
It's very interesting. It's the diehards like the third one more than the first two usually. Well, it kind of depends actually, because everyone has their favorite record. The fourth record actually is one of the like our underground, like most diehard fans, like our fourth record the most, I'd say. But we're not playing that one, so that doesn't count. It all yeah, it all
was,
really depends.
was it difficult going back and learning the albums cover to cover? Like, I can't imagine when you first wrote them that you ever thought you're going to play the whole thing one day, let alone all 3 of them.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting. We played a little different live, everything. Just we got, we're better musicians and sometimes jazzing it up is way fun. And we there's a difference between a live setting and a recorded setting. Some things sound better recorded and some things sounds better live. So some stuff most people are not even going to notice, but we jazz stuff up a little bit live just because it feels and sounds better.
Nice.
Um, that's great. But relearning, I mean, just the rehearsals for the first tour was like 2 weeks long. It was like pounding out 3 records a day, which is like, I mean, your brain goes a little crazy after trying to like play like 35 songs in a row. You know what I mean? Like trying to get solid on that many songs. It's really tough on the brain. You get so exhausted at the end of the day, but it was really good. Everything turned out well, and that first tour was so good. So we're
Yeah.
excited to bring it.
Nice. Now, I want to briefly run through each of the albums and tell us about your memories of making it. So, start with your self-titled debut from 2002.
Self-titled, I was terrified, obviously, because I've got pretty bad anxiety, and growing up, I wasn't really used to being in situations. Not nobody is, I guess, being in a situation like that to where you fly to a different state to record with someone that you barely even know, and you know what I mean. And he's kind of his personality at the time clashed with mine, which is interesting, which is a good thing looking back. Um, yeah, we worked our ass off on that record, sitting in a house together for like 12 to 15 hours a day, just jamming and writing and trying to come up with ideas and do stuff that just felt right. And that's why that record has such weird vibe to it, I think, is we just hashed on it for so long, some of those songs.
Yeah, nice. No,
Yeah.
when that album was pretty big for the band, mate. So when you'd finished it, like, were you quietly confident that you'd actually hit something special with that, or were you more surprised when people took it the way they did?
I thought we hit something. So both ways, I would say yes to, but we hit something really special, I felt like. But personal, from my own personal opinion, I'm wording this improperly here. So my own personal vibe was I thought we were doing something really special that felt really good to me. And I know we all separately felt that way. We
Mhm.
all separately felt like this is really cool and this is really interesting and we really like what we're doing. We weren't really sure how other people were taking it until we started touring on it, and we could see it started sparking things in people and people getting excited about stuff and excited about these songs and just interested in the use. But you
Mm.
can't really tell that when you're at home in your basement.
Yeah, true. You're looking at four damp walls.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like we were happy, but what does that mean?
All right, the next album is 2004's In Love and Death. Tell us more about making of that.
Yeah, in Love and Death. So the scariest part about In Love and Death is that you have your entire life to write your first record.
Mhm.
And then your second record you have like 2 years, which sounds
True.
like a long time, but not when you're just all of a sudden touring like nonstop. You know what I mean? And we had a lot of stuff kind of written, and we had a lot of jams written. And actually, listening to the song "Listening" on that record was our second song that we ever wrote. That one just got lost. It was on a tape somewhere. So we had some stuff that was saved, you know what I mean, and some jams that were like kind of ready. That was the first time that we had a lot of. That was where I felt more pressure to have the the record itself felt way more pressure than the first one, because the first one we were just kids
Yeah,
putting
no
the
idea.
stuff that we worked on, no, there's no pressure at all. And then all of a sudden we have label that's, like trying to listen in and trying to hear. Luckily at the time though, our label like cared and really pushed us, and they weren't trying to pressure anything. There was
Yeah,
nothing going on. This is also before the internet was going crazy with burning and all that stuff. So there wasn't that like, like stuff wasn't going to get lost online, or that labels weren't shrinking into what they are now. It was
yeah,
still kind of pre that.
yeah, nice. And then how about the
Yeah.
next one, Lies for Liars in 2007?
Lies for Liars has started a little bit more pressure. That's when the label started having more burning problems, started showing up, and the label started shrinking. And then we had, people in different states everything was getting, condensed into something. And so there was definitely a little bit more pressure on, also not because it's In Love and Death did better than we thought and better than our label. So it was almost like we passed that hump of doing like a one record and nothing. We did two records, and the second record ended up being more loved than the first record in so many ways. So it was for us, timing was everything on all this. And so then we got to our third, and it was probably not as much pressure as normally most bands would get on their third record, seeing how our first two did really well. And so they kind of just let us be mostly. But yeah, honestly, it was definitely, there was a little bit more tension on this record within the band, considering everything that was happening. And that's when we lost our drummer too, because he wasn't on that third record.
Yeah,
So it was definitely like a little bit of a mix up, because we toured a lot for those first two records, man.
it would have been
It was a
hard.
lot of work. Yeah. They just pushed us nonstop, man. It was kind of insane.
Bastards.
Yeah. It was nuts, man.
Each of those albums saw your sound change and expand a little bit, mate. Like, was that more a case of you guys trying to find your own sound and your own musical identity, or is it more experimenting?
So as a band, all members, including the older members and the newer members, we're kind of all over the place with like musical likes and musical influences, and we have things like, that kind of converge, together, and we have things that kind of overlap, and but as a whole, we just kind of throw out ideas, and no idea is ever a bad idea. It's all worth trying out and seeing where it goes and seeing what it pops in. So musically, I think it's just always been that thing to where we're not afraid to do anything, because here's the other thing too. No matter what we do, we're not afraid to do anything, because no matter what, I repeated this, no matter what we do, Bert Bert's voice is so Bert that it's him. It doesn't matter if he's singing if he's like singing on another band's record or something, like, and you hear him pop in, it's like, oh well, that's Bert.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
we're very lucky because not a lot of bands have that personality. To me, that personality means everything.
yeah,
So no matter
cool.
what we do musically, it's never going to matter, because Bert is always going to front the band and sound like Bert. And so it's going to collect everything back together.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now, we're running out of time, bro, so I'll leave you with this one. Like, I read a quote from you that said, to everybody who has been there from the beginning or is just starting out your adventure with this, thank you. Here's to the next 25 years. Like, surely you're not thinking that far ahead, are you, mate? 25
Hey
years is a
man,
long time.
I got nothing else to do, man. No. So hopefully I'm still doing this in 25 years. I'd be really happy about that. So
Fantastic. All right, JEPHA. Well, thanks very much for your time, bro. The tour kicks off August 7th. There's only 10 of the 21 shows with tickets left, and I believe they're going quick. So if you want to catch a slice of history, get your tickets now.